losing your identity during an awakening process. It is a massive thing. It does happen, and some of us can be riddled with it, and some of us haven't found ourselves yet because of it. But what I'm about to tell you in this video is going to help you kind of bring in that sense of self-identity back to you and your authenticity, because that is the main thing that you do have as you travel through this journey of remembering. So my name is Louisa. I run Imperial Ghost Diaries YouTube channel. I also have other pages as well. And stick around for this video because I believe you're going to get some insight out of it. So let's get started. It is really important to remember that everyone's awakening or remembering process is going to be different. So the first thing that we like to look at is, how is everybody else going? Like, how is everybody else doing it? I'm very alone. I have absolutely no idea. And I also feel very alone, because you will feel very alone. And the reason why is because it's only you going through your exact process. Everyone else's process is going to be vastly different to yours. And it's because of your inherited belief systems, the way that you understand the world, the way that you've grown to understand the world, and all of the limiting beliefs that you also harbor within yourself, and just the way that you've seen yourself in the world one way, and you will honestly start to see yourself in a different way. So these are some of the reasons why we need to actually bring ourselves way back into authenticity and start working through how we're going to be able to just maintain our true selves this whole time. Now, during an awakening process, there's going to be moments where you will start to notice yourself just changing, and the things that you enjoy and the things that you like may change as well. Now, this is also completely normal. For instance, you might not be interested in certain tasks or certain material things, certain even events, going out, also very, very common. A lot of people stop enjoying going out, especially in nightlife, because they find it a lot quite draining, which is completely normal. But there's going to be a process where you may still kind of feel like you still want to be there, or you still want to enjoy those material things, or you still enjoy going to a sporting match, and that's so okay. But the important thing is to enjoy it with integrity, because as we know, we have created our soul in this life. We have created all of our experiences. We've created everything around us. We also have created the way that we view the world, but we've also custom ourselves, and I know that I say this a lot, but like a lot of our chart will depict on the things that we're actually interested in. And I think it's really important to understand that if we still are genuinely interested in certain things, is to just not feel bad about loving those things. We may even find that we are looking at other people's profiles who are on their centered journey, and they are at a completely different place to us, and we're like, wow, I really wish I was there. I feel like I'm not aligned. I'm not in a process of growing just because I'm still enjoying the things in the 3D. There's going to be still things that you can enjoy in the 3D. We don't all have to do 2-year shamanic journeys. We don't all have to do 1,600 ayahuasca ceremonies. We don't have to be living in a commune just to know that we're spiritual. That is not what spirituality is. It is definitely a part of it for certain people. Certain people will enjoy this. Certain people will feel called to this sort of lifestyle. If you, however, end up doing that, that's great. That's fantastic. And I actually really love that for you. But what we all need to remember is just to stay true to the things that we really enjoy, because a lot of us are going to live in an urban world. A lot of the places that we do live are urban. A lot of the places that we do live are, within a very large community, large cities, and there is still major opportunities to be spiritual in that time. Just because you are not doing those known as high vibe activities or ways of growing doesn't mean that you can't grow within yourself. We need people to be living in urban areas to create that change, that energetic change. Because how many times have you impacted somebody's life? You may not even know it, but just by your sheer presence, because you have awakened, you have a light that does cultivate other people's lights within them, and you can spark an interest. Have no idea that you could have spoken about something really mystical and something just in your passing to a stranger on the street, and they go home and they start to research it, and then something awakens within themselves. This could be at the coffee shop. You don't know. You could be at the dog park. We don't know. So just remember that just because where you are, where you live, and the things that you still may be interested in doesn't mean that you're any less spiritual than everybody else. It's important to also remember that the things that we genuinely really enjoy, the things that we genuinely really love still, also raise our vibration. The things that bring you excitement raise your vibration every single time. If they're obviously, if you're operating from a place of authenticity, they raise your vibration every single time. That's what they're there for. That's what you have cultivated. That is what you like. So say, for example, if you love going to get yourself a facial and a massage, and then you want to go take yourself shopping, just as an example, those are still high vibrational things because they make you feel good. And how many times are we made to feel not good about ourselves? And I don't want anyone in this world to feel like they have to break the mold that they do enjoy out of inauthenticity to fit into another mold where they also don't feel like they belong. That is not the point of ascending to 5D. That's just not the fucking point. We have lived in 3D for a very long time. We have been shunned for the things that we enjoy. We've been shunned for the things that we like, only to move into the next dimension and be told that doesn't belong here. You don't belong with us. That is so opposite of what I'm about. And I will preach it till I leave this earth, that we need to stop labeling things as what they are. They are not always as they seem. You are on your own path and you can enjoy whatever you like as long as you stay true to yourself and the love that you have for yourself. Say, for example, there's materialistic things that I still love. And over time, I still felt a little bit guilty about enjoying them. And this was like a few years ago. And I was like, my awakening, and I was like, oh my God, if I still like this, does that mean that I'm not spiritual? That doesn't mean that I'm not part of that world. I still maintain a very high spiritual practice every single day. And I maintain that true to myself every single time. I love beautiful things because they make me happy. They're not exactly, I'm not outlaying my happiness and relying on that for happiness, but that just kind of is a little bit added extra for my soul that I still enjoy because I'm human in this life and this is the human that I decided to be because I'm still operating with authenticity. Does any of this make sense? So say, for example, say for instance, if you're a guy watching this and you love going to MMA fights, boxing matches, some people may deem that as really low vibrational. But do you know how many hours those athletes have spent training for their craft, for their sport? That is, when they are training, when they are in the zone, when they are fighting, they are at a very high flow state. That is a very, very high vibrational place to be, is when you are in flow state, because that is their love, that is their passion. Watching somebody in their passion is some of the most beautiful things that I really, really, really enjoy, because I love seeing people doing what they love, because that in itself is very high vibrational. I was recently featured in a music video, because sometimes I do like little extra work like that. And I was watching the artist take control of his music video, working with the team, organizing where he wanted to be at certain lyrics. And I thought, wow, this is watching someone completely immersed in their world and doing it the way that they love doing it. It was so enthralling for me to watch someone just love what they do so much. And it had a ripple effect on me. It was inspiring for me because I was just like, that is people doing what they love, going for their purpose, enjoying the things that they enjoy. There is nothing more beautiful than that. There's nothing more beautiful than people enjoying their moments in life. And if any of those little moments in your life, you still enjoy them, that's what's the most important thing. And just because somebody else may not like it, and it may not be somebody else's flavor, that's okay. That's okay, because that's still your flavor. If you don't grow out of these things, they were meant for you. If you do grow out of these things, they've spent their time, they've done their thing for you, and now you can move on. But as long as you're operating, and I will say this continuously, with authenticity, I love these things because X, Y, Z. Or I just love these things because. I love these things just because they make me feel good. I can still do that. You are still human. We don't need to live as spiritual beings. We live as humans, as awakened ones, because our spirit wakes up within us and we remember who we are and what we came here to be, what we came here to do. We came here to ascend. We came here to raise the vibe of this planet, because the vibes of this planet have not been at 100, let me tell you. I am massive on noticing spiritual ego. It is rife. And it's just another way of people to go from one identity that they felt they had to be an ego with to another identity. You will spot these. These are going to start coming out very, very soon. The collective is going to start noticing, if you haven't already, who is playing the game out of authenticity. Who is playing the game? And I'm going to say it, narcissism. I don't really like using that word too much. I think it's really overdone, but a lot of it is narcissism. And I know there's a lot of anti-spiritualists out there because of people with the narcissistic tendencies who have just gone from one identity to the other and still maintain this pompous level of hierarchy above everyone because of the work that they're doing. You aren't doing any work if you're a narcissist. You aren't doing any work if you're operating from ego. I'm going to tell you that right now. And everyone needs to remember, and you'll feel it intuitively. You're like, say for example, you've seen someone like they have some sort of craft, there's some sort of coach, or there's some sort of healer, and you just get weird vibes. You get weird vibes. You're like, I don't know if this person's really doing it for me. There's something in my gut that's just saying, oh, I don't know about this. They're not for you. And they may not, and you might find that a lot of people may say the same thing about this person. I don't know about them. I don't know where they're operating from. I don't understand why they're making me feel this way. It's because they're also not being authentic. If you are an authentic person, you will spot the inauthentic ones straight away. It is honestly clear as day. People who have a spiritual ego, it's very funny that they operate still in the space, because everyone who has a high intuition and very sure about themselves will see it so clearly. It's like, you can't hide from us. We know what you're doing. we know where you're operating from, and you're just fooling nobody. So if you are one of those people and you're operating from spiritual ego, and if this part of the video has actually annoyed you a little bit, then I am talking to you. And I'm also not very sorry about how I made you feel during this. This might be a little bit of a mirror on how you can kind of reflect on any extra things that you may need to work on within you, so you are operating from that sense of authenticity, deep love within yourself. Because if you deeply love yourself, everyone is the same. Everyone is on equal value. No one is better than anyone. There is people, of course, out there with a lot more knowledge on certain topics. They have maybe gone further on their spiritual path. They have, for example, have a lot more understanding about certain things and how things will be the outcome. Can't get my words out. But just remember, they're not any better than you. We are all operating from a frequency. We are all raising our frequency, which is why things are so fucking uncomfortable at the moment. Things are so uncomfortable. My life is so uncomfortable, but it's so beautiful at the same time. There is so many things that are just like breaking open, and the veil is thinning, and we're just looking at things like, oh my God, how much more can I take? How much more? How much harder is this going to be? It does get hard. It's not meant to be easy here. Some people, some souls have chosen, I can't remember the term, but it's like a life where they just coast through. That might be their last one. Some last lives might be difficult. Some may that's the path they chose, and they just coast through, and they're quite happy with doing that. Some people may have a lot of work to do. They need a lot of things to overcome. That also is a choice. So everyone's journey is going to be different. I don't know where I started going with that, but I just felt like that had to come out. Everybody's journey is going to be different. Everyone's going to be at different levels. We can learn off each other. It's the point of community. Age of Aquarius, massive. We are coming together as a community, working as a community. We are working together. Everyone has a different talent, a different craft, something that they bring, something that uniquely theirs, their gifts, their abilities. And you may have something deeply, in yourself, you have something so deep that you can work with, something that you can help others with. We're all going to start really needing that in the coming years when we all start coming together as one. I don't like talking about a lot of 3D, 5D sort of matrix government stuff. I used to be really preachy about it, and then I'm kind of like, okay, well, like, Louisa, you're operating out of fucking anger and ego, just settle the fuck down. So I did. But what I will say is, when we do come together as one, is not going to be in favor of they're not even a higher power for me. They're just like a group of individuals that just reckon they're ruling the world. And they're not going to really like that. So the more that we come together, the harder it's going to be. The more fear they're going to instill, the more shame they're going to put on everyone else who is different. So they're going to still be doing that. But as you less live in their world, you less notice it. You less be affected by it. Do you know, sometimes I'll even walk past I'll overhear someone talking about news, because I don't really watch the news, or I see something like I've seen on Instagram, and I'm like, oh, that's what they're doing. Fuck, okay, lol. Keep scrolling. It's almost like it just doesn't exist in my world. I just have never felt that for a while now. I just don't exist in that world. None of those things are going to affect me ever. And it probably sounds a little bit delulu, but delulu is the salulu. That's what we're doing. My delusion actually does work, because my delusion is real, because it crafts my beautiful world. And the beautiful people that come in, the people that leave, that's okay. They were part of my path for a reason, part of my remembering who I am, part of the reason why I had to go find myself again for the things that I haven't actually found yet, or haven't actually realized, or haven't been working on, or have been neglecting. Remember that as well. It's a very important part to remember when people do leave. and they do leave for good, you may have just, that part of you may have just exited. But if they do come back in a different form, you haven't learned that lesson. That's something that we have put in our lives to keep growing. Your higher self is just like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna bring this person back in to give them another lesson. You know what I mean? So, but if you, every time someone does leave and you're like, wow, okay, let's look within, let's look deep within. How am I operating from this? Have I learned from this situation? Have I learned from this person? Am I able to let this go? And if you found yourself deep at the core, if you do some really inner work, I'm still doing inner work. I'm always doing inner work. But when you find deep inner work and you're like, the penny will drop, and you're like, that's it. That's what it was. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that belief. And I'm going to work on myself to fix that and repair that so that I can not ever attract anything in my life that is going to trigger me so I have to keep learning. But I'm going to stay true to myself and notice the patterns, because the universe will always send you little, like, you know, this, that, and the other, that you just kind of just to see where you're at. See if you've changed. It'll check on you. Like, oh, just send them this and see how it goes. And if you pass the test, they're like, oh, very nice. And your whole team will give you a little round of applause, and you'll be on your merry way, and you'll be onto the new trajectory, on the new path, where everything will start falling away that's not really there and not meant for you. So if you are someone who just loves the things that you love, and they are still technically 3D things, and you love them from a place of authenticity, like, they make me feel good. They don't make me feel good on the outside in. They make me feel good from the inside out. I like them internally. That's why I'm still involved in them. I'm not using them to make myself feel good. They just make me feel good in general. And that's okay. That is 100% okay. And I'm very, very firm on this. I'm here to make sure that everyone that lives a life of their awakening is okay to be themselves. I have been told so many times throughout my life since I was 10 years old to not be myself. It has been just the longest journey of people trying to shut me down, make me feel small. And I'll go through this in other videos, and I've spoken about them before. But there's just a time now that I'm here, and I'm going to tell everyone just to fucking be themselves and be authentic to everything that they like, everything that they want to be. Don't let any outside forces influence you. Unless they are influencing you for ideas, take on their ideas, process them, inject them, see how you feel about them. If they don't resonate with you, let them go. Just let them go. But if things are authentic to you, if you are maintaining your authenticity and you're moving forward in that, and you're awakening and you're becoming more conscious, you're becoming more open, you're an open channel of communication, we're going to just start becoming, I'm so excited for the day that we all just start fucking being telepathic properly with each other. It's just going to be such a vibe. Everyone in the 5, we're gonna have like a high frequency. We're gonna be able to read each other. We're gonna have sus vibes. It's gonna be like so much stronger. And anyone who's inauthentic will fall away and will be noticed. So in saying that, I hope you guys enjoy that journey. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words. Sometimes when I channel things and they come through, I just spit fire. I write some things down, but I just spit fire. And when I spit fire, my human Louisa sometimes can't be as fast as the downloads that's coming in from my higher self. She comes in like this, and my brain is like, ah! My mouth like, ah! Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Like and subscribe. Follow my social media pages so you watch all my content. And I'll see you guys in the next video.